So apparently Pokimane had a boyfriend this entire time. This is all coming from a statement from Fed or Fedmeister, who was a prior member of Offline TV before he was kicked out a few months ago for allegations and just internal problems that people in Offline TV house were having with him. Some of these allegations include inappropriate behavior and misconduct with some of the members, most notably that being Yvonne, who is one of the streamers there. This was a whole big crap show that went down a few months ago, and it pretty much ended up basically destroying Fed's career. Or I mean, he said he would take a break if he would ever come back to streaming at all. Everybody was talking about it. He looked like the worst guy ever. But now, literally just earlier today, apparently, allegedly, Fed has put out a statement on Google Docs, and it's 25 pages long. You're hearing about this just as soon as I am, just as soon as I could make a video about it. All we know is that this 25-page Google document was leaked into another streamer's chat known as Destiny, and he started reading it on stream. It was leaked to him by one of his viewers, and he started reading it on stream, and to be quite honest, it looks pretty real, and it looks pretty hard to fake. But most notably, Pokimane apparently had a thing with Fed, and it looks pretty bad. Like the text, the leaked DMs, it all looks pretty bad for Pokimane. It definitely puts things into a little bit more perspective of where Fed was and where he was coming from. I'm not going to excuse his actions and misconduct with Yvonne or anybody else, but the fact that so much misinformation was put out, and the fact that there was so much more, and the fact that this is all coming out now. Anyways, without further ado, let's just jump right into this bad boy, shall we? Now, the first page opens as introduction and apology. It starts with, "Hey guys, it's been a while. It's been about 2 months now. I know a lot of you are angry, sad, and disappointed, and you certainly have the right to be. I did some shitty things, and they went unchecked for a long time. After some very low moments, I'm in a better place now. I've been seeing a really good therapist nearly twice a week, and as per his suggestion, taking time away from all social media. I've used this time to distance myself and reflect. Throughout the time, I've been staying completely sober and plan to continue doing so. Just in general though, I'm really trying to improve myself as a person, and I honestly feel like I've already made progress. But I know it's not my place to be the judge. I'm taking this all very seriously." Alright, so he's doing well, he's doing good, and this is where he starts to kind of break his silence. I just want to say first that this has nothing to do with me coming back to streaming. After a tremendous amount of thought and therapy, I'm here to shed some light and give a timeline on my side of things since it has now become a public matter. I have already apologized to Yvonne and Lily privately, and this statement will in no way contradict their stories. Instead, the purpose is to address the individuals that I believe are twisting the truth for their own benefit. For my own health, I can no longer stay silent. He says that one of the things he learned about himself is his desire for intimacy, not sexual, more like companionship. When he gets comfortable with people, he often pushes these boundaries, and then when he's drunk, this feeling is amplified. He says, "I never meant any harm or have any sort of malicious intent, but I have certainly made people feel uncomfortable. My actions surrounding Yvonne and Lily fit right into these categories, and I can't begin to explain how sorry I am for hurting them and ultimately jeopardizing our relationships." Alright, now guys, this is 25 pages long, and I will link it in the description if you guys want to check it out for full context. I'm going to try to sum up some of like the key points, and I will show you the DMs unless they're like really bad that I can't show it on YouTube, but I think it'll be fine. So the next part is called the purpose. Here, Fed says that watching Poki talk about all the things he's done with little to zero context as to the nature of their relationship hurt him pretty bad. He says that he did do some questionable things and maybe broke her trust, but there are some claims he makes about him, Yvonne, the Just Friends streamer group, and herself that are either false, twisting the truth, or misconstrued. And he says he's going to address them because they feel very personal to him. My relationship with Poki. This Foki thing all started as a joke when I made my picture of me and Poki my phone background. She had sarcastically suggested that I do it, and see what kind of reaction from the community we'd get. I laughed and did it anyway just for fun. Obviously the public started to pick up on it more and more, and then all this escalated when the Taiwan trip happened. Fed says here that in February of 2018, during the Taiwan trip, him and Poki got really close, and a lot of good moments came from the trip. He said it felt pretty good to get to know somebody with good work ethic, drive, and dreams. It was cool. We came back from Taiwan, and that kind of energy between us continued on and off stream. He says, we started to have breakfast and dinner together every day. We became very flirty, especially through text, started having occasional sleepovers, and just in general were definitely heading in a romantic direction. Now here are some screenshots to back up Fed's claims, which you can see they look pretty flirty. Okay, look, I changed your name in my phone to Fedi. Fed responds with a screenshot showing that he changed her name to Foki in his phone. I want Foki Ice, or Fedi Ice, or just Fedi. Here's another text where Fed says good morning. Here's a screenshot that says, I tried to wait for you, but I have an interview at 11 a.m., so I gotta go sleep soon. We watch another time trip, hummus. Frowny face. FML. F you, Temmie. Sorry she woke you. I just woke up. I'm too hot. Gonna sleep in my room. Was gonna ask if I could come with, but it's okay. Good night. Sorry. Heart. Night. You can come with me next time. Okay. Now, Fed says that it was pretty obvious that their roommates and maybe others knew that something was going on, but nobody really asked about it. There was an occasional roommate here and there that would walk in and see them cuddling together when they were watching Law & Order on their laptop, he says. And Fed would think to himself, man, this is the dream. Really connecting with somebody that understands the world I'm a part of. And she's super ambitious, hilarious, and meticulous about so many things in her life. Fed also says that the texts shown throughout are obviously just a small glimpse and they don't provide everything, but they should give the majority of people a closer look at what actually happened. Here's a screenshot that Poki sent to Fed, and it's basically a picture of a conversation she had with someone named Hanako, which I guess is a mutual friend, and they said, oh my god, you're into it, you're feeling it. Poki's just like shrugging shoulders. Poki, your eyes. LOL, stop. Literally, and you effing look at him like in adoration. ... Nani? Here's another text between Fed and Poki that says, I saw what you wrote in chat, blushy face. Made me blushy. Fed sends a heart. Hungry? Another text between them says, nice. I'm still embarrassed, by the way. I decided I'll never close my door ever again, if you know what I mean. So you're saying I could just walk in right now? I hear you. I don't think you know what I mean then. I think I might have to come in so you can elaborate. Or what I'm talking about. Never mind. If you must. Literally locked. I guess her door was locked. Oops. Debated. That's unfortunate. I feel like I can sense your frustration. Check again. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but in the context of things, I think like it's getting a little conceptual. Here's another text conversation between them that says, wrong emoji. Good night. So quiet over there. LOL. I got lost in thought. Can you legit hear everything? Oh my god. Lost in thought? Yeah. I haven't started, taking care of... Okay. You know what? Okay. All right. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Can't show that on YouTube. Not gonna. But you get the idea. Fed says a little bit later that in March 2018, they had an honest discussion about the direction they were heading. Poki brought up some notable problems with the relationship. A, that we live together and that could be a problem if things don't work out. B, we're board members, own equity of the company that we work for. This could be a conflict of interest and could get nasty if things didn't work out between us. It was perfectly legal, but it's more of something that could be a future problem. So the conclusion they came to was that they were going to slow down and not spend as much time together because things were escalating very fast. And if they were just going to date, then they needed to be sure. Fed says, not going to lie, I was a little disappointed, but agreed that we definitely spend way too much time together, and it's a little dangerous, especially for something that could cause major future issues. He says that things changed for a couple of days, but then they started talking again, except slightly toned down. Now fast forward to April and May of 2018, Fed says it's pretty much the same as March, except they were traveling a lot. They texted, they FaceTimed, she would send messages like, I miss you. That literally, it says, I miss you, right there. And she would refer to Fed as Honey Bun, with a heart. Here's a screenshot that says, thanks for always taking care of me, by the way. Yeah, apparently he was gonna IRL and chill at McDonald's overnight, then get on his flight. He's too troll, and I always will. What time is your flight? In 25 minutes. Sorry if I'm ever super extra. Just really love making you feel good / happy. Crying emoji. Why do you like that? I just do. You're often stressing about things, and even if you aren't, I love helping in any way I can because it puts less weight on you. It just feels right. Pokimane responds with heart. Thanks, Fed. I'm lucky to have you in my life. Hope I can help you as well. We're taking off now. Talk to you later. Ugh, gosh, okay. Can you guys feel the pain there? Oof, like that last couple of texts were just kind of cold. It just kind of feels like with the way Poki responded that Fed still obviously has his emotions invested while Poki is kind of like, dipping out. Here's a text from mid-April, and Fed says, hope your flight is going well, miss you, with a heart crying emoji. Poki eventually responds with, aw, honey bun, heart. I'll miss you too, Fedi. I'll be back soon, don't worry, smiley face. Do you have your passport? Yeah. Do you miss me already? Oh ho. Yes. Oh well. Heart. Fed says in the document further that at this time, he was so excited with his feelings that he wanted to try and be serious or exclusive with Poki. Fast forward to EDC 2018, which was around May. Fed says he was with his roommate Josh, this isn't his name, but for anonymity, we'll just call him Josh, at our Airbnb. Of course, it was pretty obvious to him I was texting Poki a lot, as well as FaceTiming her. He hadn't said a single thing about it yet, and it certainly already looked like something might have been going on to him. At some point, he asked me about us, and I said, there's something going on, yeah. And he didn't believe me, so I asked our manager. Me, Poki, and Josh all shared the same manager at the time, and she was well aware of how close me and Poki were. I asked our manager, "You know about me and Poki, right?" And she confirmed it. So in my mind, I felt like I was being honest. But it was one of my first major mistakes. Fed basically says here that Poki is a very private person, especially with relationship stuff, and he crossed the line. Fed, ... Quick question. Yes, what's up? Are you calling me baby in front of others? No. I'm surprised you're calling me baby at all. Sorry if it bothers you. That's my fave pet name, and it is boyfriend restricted. It's cute, but... Fed interrupts and says, it just feels right. Pokimane then responds, I worry if we be acting too gay. LMAO, you're cute. Sorry. I'll stop. It's okay. Just, you're only allowed like 2 a week. Like an allowance. I'm gonna go into fat debt. I'm lucky to have you. Someone who accepts me as a whole. All of you. Every little bit. Another DM says, why is romance so complicated? Sigh. Boys suck. What's so complicated? Everything. If you'd like me to give you space, I can do that. LOL, you're fine. Only thing I worry about with you is seeming too coupley in front of others before we actually are. It's a delicate and gossip-ridden scene, you feel me? Yeah, outside the house I always try to be discreet, private. But even to our friends, it's even more confusing to them. I don't know how to manage that, or how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm not too sure how to handle all of that. Depends on how private you want to be. Pokimane responds with, yeah, I want to be very private until we make the bump. Then I don't give a flying fladoodle. But I feel like that's not decided, so things get awkward sometimes. Fed says here in the document that by now you can tell that there's this cycle of talking again and then, oh wait, there's a problem. This cycle continued throughout the years, and every time it didn't work out, I think I lost part of myself. More and more I started to realize, maybe I'm not good enough. The things the cycle did to me were fucked. I became more and more frustrated. I started to become jealous, insecure at times. I would act out sometimes, lock myself in my room all day and stream Pokemon for the entire day to try to avoid her. I would go over to Just Friends, a disbanded streamer house, and vent about my frustrations. Okay, now guys, we're like barely halfway through this document. If you guys ever want me to like read the full thing in the future, make a longer video, that's fine, just let me know. But I'm just worried I might be reading too slow or fast, or maybe you just want to read it yourself. But I'm going to try and sum up some of the major key points of the rest of the document. Fed basically goes on to say that a lot of the information thrown out against him was inaccurate or misconstrued. He says that he never wanted Yvonne fired, even though Poki made it seem like he did. And he shows DMs kind of showing that Poki was the one that was feeling a little weird about Yvonne becoming more of a content creator instead of more of a content manager. And she was getting brand deals, she was getting views on YouTube. Pokimane brought up the idea, well, what would happen to Yvonne if we just hired a new content manager? She'd not have a job anymore. Fed exposes all of this in DMs in the document, which you guys can read. Fed says that he personally never brought up the idea that Yvonne should get kicked out of offline TV. Ever. What he did do was bring up his concerns to people in the house. And in fact, Poki was the one that wanted Yvonne fired. Now, once again, to sum everything up, here's a TLDR from Fed. I want to defend myself where possible, just giving context to things I felt were necessary for my peace. I'm sober and in therapy. I've learned a lot about myself and my issues. I'm working very hard to address what causes these issues. My relationship with Poki was a lot more complicated than we were just close. I didn't try to manipulate our friends to get them to hate Poki. Poki's relationship with Just Friends was professional, and she used me as a scapegoat for not forming friendships with them. She isolated herself from them. I told someone we had a thing, and I felt I was being honest. However, it was wrong because I broke her trust and privacy. I never tried to get Yvonne fired because of the incident between us, but Poki later does for other reasons. And that incident obviously is the one where this whole cancellation of Fed a few months ago started, where Yvonne came out telling her truth about Fed and how he, was trying to hold her hands and came into her room drunk and he was holding her hand, laying in bed with her, and it made her feel really awkward and uncomfortable. Lastly, Fed says that he wants to add, I've made similar statements for others, not Yvonne or Lily, and these statements include apologies but also dispute some claims they made in their streams. While offering explanations from my point of view, currently I have not decided whether or not to post them. And he leaves us with a small personal update on page 25 saying that he's not sugarcoating anything. The last few months have been some of the most dark, challenging, and loneliest periods of his life. But the silver lining is that he found appreciation for all the small things in life that he previously brushed under the rug. In the future, he doesn't plan to return to streaming or content creation until he's someone that he knows he can be proud of, and this will take time. If there's one thing he's learned through all of this, it's that emotions are very powerful, and he urges everyone to not bottle things up, seek help therapy if needed, and with patience and effort, it can change your life and perspective for the better. And that is about the gist of it. Like I said, guys, there's a lot more nitty-gritty details that you can get into, but I mean, it's 25 pages long. I didn't know if you guys wanted me to read the entire thing or if you just want to read it yourself and get the gist of it here. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of all of this. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, hit that sub button if you're new so you can always stay up to date when I upload. Make sure you have post notifications on. All right, that'll do it for today's video. I gotta go. I have a meeting with the Ranosaurs, gotta pick up my coffee from them. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, goodbye.